Hello, Angie Gerber here, and welcome to my podcast, Awareness. Once you know, you can't unknow. A place you can come to start thinking and shifting your thoughts to finally create the results you truly, truly desire. It'll shift your mindset and give you strategies to get out there and get it done. Let's get started. You made it to week 12. Congratulations. It's been a wonderful journey and one that I am always so grateful to be on with you and to, show you the way of a lot, if not all of what got me from where I once was to where I am now. And so as we go into the final week, this is really about mastering your magnificent mind and yourself. So it ties everything that we've gone through over the past 11 lessons into this one very impactful lesson. And Bob always read this story, which I'm going to read to you now. You may have heard it on a past podcast of mine if you're a avid listener, but I wanted to definitely visit U Squared. For you, those of you not watching on YouTube, it's the word U with a 2, U Squared by Price Pritchett. Amazing book. Go on Amazon or wherever and order this book. He also offers a bundle, which is a phenomenal deal. So I would absolutely do that as well. So it starts off with a true story, and I'm going to read it to you now. He says, I'm sitting in a quiet room at the Millcroft Inn, a peaceful little place hidden back among the pine trees about an hour outside of Toronto. It's just past noon, late July, and I'm listening to the desperate sound of a life or death struggle going on just a few feet away. There's a small fly burning out the last of its short life's energies in a futile attempt to fly through the glass of the windowpane. The whining wings tell the poignant story of the fly's strategy. Try harder. But it's not working. The frenzied effort offers no hope for survival. Ironically, the struggle is part of the trap. It is impossible for the fly to try hard enough to succeed at breaking through the glass. Nevertheless, this little insect has staked its life on reaching its goal through raw effort and determination. The fly is doomed. It will die there on that windowsill. Now, across the room, 10 steps away, the door is open. 10 seconds of flying time, and this creature could reach the outside world it seeks. With only a fraction of the effort now being wasted, it could be free of this self-imposed trap. The breakthrough possibility is there. It would be so easy. Why doesn't the fly try another approach? Something dramatically different. How did it get so locked in on the idea that this particular route and determined effort offer the most promise for success? What logic is there in continuing until death to seek a breakthrough with more of the same? No doubt this approach makes sense to the fly. Regrettably, it's an idea that will kill. Trying harder isn't necessarily the solution to achieving more. It may not offer any real promise for getting what you want out of life. Sometimes, in fact, it's a big part of the problem. If you stake your hopes for a breakthrough on trying harder than ever, you may kill your chances for success. And again, the author is Price Pritchett, U Squared. So think about that and apply that to your life and what you are currently doing. If you think you need to double down and work harder and try harder and just keep going at it, I really implore you to just take a step back and think about this. Think about you will not get to where you want to go or create new circumstances or a new economy or whatever it is you're looking for from the same mindset and from the same place you are today. So that's where who we surround ourselves with is so very important. And one of the things that I went through when I went through my training was the mastermind. So a mastermind is when you get together with four to maybe five, no more than, Bob says if you have eight or more, break into two groups because you want to really be able to hone in on each member and how you can move them forward. And what it's about is it's about showing up and giving your all to the mastermind and helping the people in it, knowing that the more you help someone reach their goals, the universe will reward you and you will reach yours. So masterminding and getting around people that can help you take your blinders off and really see things from a different perspective. So if you don't have partners like that, I implore you and I encourage you to find some out there. It can, it's obviously hiring a coach or a mentor is part of that. But if that's not something that you can financially do right now, find people in your industry that are doing what you intend to do. Another thing that Bob would talk about is he would, go to these big companies and the top of the top, the guy that did the most business and everyone looked up to and wanted to be like or figure it out. No one would call him. No one would reach out to these people. So call that person, send them a text, send them a message, however that looks, and ask them to buy them a coffee. Ask to come to where they're at, or where will they be, where you can steal, 10 to 20 minutes of their time and come very prepared with, half a dozen to a dozen questions that you can ask them that will really get you the information that you desire and that will get you to the next step. It's so amazing. So if you think about this book, U Squared, what would it look like instead of, again, the 5 to 10% results or increase that you want if you did 100 or 500% better this year, the next coming year? What would that look like? And they talk about how a quantum leap implies an explosive jump in your personal performance that puts you far beyond the next logical step. And that's where you get out of the logical mind and into the emotional mind or into the faith versus fear and really stepping out and figuring it out. And a lot of it is kind of like the fly. There's some simple steps and a simple change that could just quantum leap your results that you're just not aware of right now. So, how do you become aware of it? Again, a mastermind, a coach, or a mentor, taking a step back, self discovery, personal development, getting better, 1% better every day will also quantum leap your results by the end of the year. I was just listening to a podcast this morning from one of my coaches, Raj Vasuki, and he said, take what are four things that you need to do in the next year to get to your big goal, the big goal. And he said, don't think of it in a year, take it quarter by quarter. So in the first 90 days, what's one thing? So you write down four things that the person has or has done, or what their disciplines look like, or their habits, or what you need to change. And he said, pick the one that's the most impactful and only focus on that for the first 90 days and make that a habit and show up and do the thing. If it's going on social media and doing video, if it's calling people, in real estate, a lot of people are asking about buying leads and finding clients because so many of them won't take the time to get their customer relationship management, CRM together. So if you're in business, how are you dripping on, or how are you staying in contact with the people who have already done business with you or that know you, like you, and trust you? I mean, we are often in any business stepping over $50 bills to pick up pennies because we just can't see the forest through the trees. So take a step back and think about that. And it's the knowing doing gap. You know what to do, and you're not doing it. So the knowing part and the doing part are far apart. So there's a gap between them. So how are you going to collapse that gap, the knowing doing gap? You know what to do, but you're not doing it. Take action and start doing it every day, regardless of how you feel, regardless of if you want to or not. This is a business, or what you're doing and the goals you want to achieve are so much bigger. And if you come from that place and if you make decisions as if it's already here and done, and from that version of you, the things you need to show up and do are no-brainers. You've already done them. They're already done because you already have the goal. So it's really about flipping a lot of what we already do or don't do. So take, for instance, I know another story Bob often talked about was the insurance industry, how he said he could go to any insurance industry and write whatever he wanted to charge them because they all wanted him to talk to their salespeople, to motivate them to get into their companies, because he in the 70s and 80s was able to take insurance agencies back then and increase their sales by hundreds of millions of dollars. And he said, the things I told them to do were so simple. It's just no one was doing it. And he would tell them, get in front of a client by 9 in the morning, skin to skin, face to face, and ask them for, at that time, $100,000 policy, which most people were not doing that. And he said that, again, hundreds of millions of dollars, these companies, by just doing two simple things: getting in front of a client and asking them to buy, because nothing happens until someone sells something. Regardless of your business and what you do, you have to sell them to help them. If it's nutrition, if it's weight loss, if it's something to do with their mindset, if it's real estate, chiropractic. I have clients all over many, many industries, writing books, all of it. Digital marketing, all of it. You have to sell someone, just like you sell the people in your life every day, of why to go to school, why to do this, why to go to practice. If you're thinking of kids, why practice makes perfect, or you'd want to do it. I mean, you are always selling someone in your life on something. So take that and understand that nothing happens until you sell them. And think about who you can get into a mastermind with. We're going to go back to that now. I really want you to write down 3 to 4, 5 to 8, whatever, how many people, because not everyone may be able to do it, and put together a mastermind. And if you need the mastermind rules that I use, because there's a covenant that you read and there's an understanding of why you all are there, because you want the right people there for the right reasons. Look me up. It's angiegerber@gmail.com. I'm happy to get that over to you and talk to you more about it. Also know that I actually just wrote a book, an ebook. It is with real estate in mind. However, I know it can apply to any industry, and that's at my Stan store. So it's stan.store/Angie Gerber. Check it out. It's under $20, and it's a lot of the information that I coach with my elite clients. And it's phenomenal information to get you, for goals, talking about sales, talking about how to run your calendar, how to show up as an entrepreneur versus an amateur, gratitude, data bank, law of compensation, all of it. So it's definitely something to check out. But yeah, just going into your goals, and you're setting your goals. Set big goals that you do not know how to get. The only thing you do is you want it. You desire that it will happen. The want is there. And you have to make the decision that it's something that you truly want so that you'll show up and get it. And to remind you, once you reach that goal, which you will, it's a process. If you have the right mindset and if you're doing the right things, the goal itself is the side effect. It's who you become in the process. That's the true win. So set those goals. Go back and listen to these weeks if you need to. If you're watching on YouTube, I watch a lot of things on 1.25 or 1.5 speed so that I can get through them a lot quicker if I need to listen to something or re-listen to something. But the more you listen and the more you go through the repetition of hearing the same thing, thinking the same thing, it will impress upon your subconscious. And once your subconscious accepts it, it's done. Your mind and the universe will start working together to show you the way, the people, the options, the opportunities, the money, the clients, they'll be put in your path. And that's where following your intuition, when we talked about the higher faculties, is so very important. So this all works together, and you are the key. How you show up, how you think, what you expect, it will be shown. So if you don't like your results, go back and start thinking about what you're thinking. What conversations are you having? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Are you getting 1% better every day? Instead of scrolling on social media, let's say for an hour, do it for a half hour, set an alarm, and the other half hour, grab a book, listen to a podcast, go back and listen to one of these messages. I promise you, you'll start hearing it differently because you'll become different. You'll never dip your toe in the stream and it be the same water because it's always changing, just like you're always changing. So, as always, I am here to support you and help you. Reach out if you need a great coach or mentor. I absolutely work in the real estate industry and also coach many people outside of it as well. Check out my stand store for my book and also set big goals, goals that will get you into a quantum leap. Reach out if I could be helping in any way and share this series with someone that you love or someone that needs to hear it as well. Because mindset, though it's 95% of it and only 5% is strategy of you getting to your goals, we do need to work together and we want to be able to show up for each other. So get someone else in another mindset, put yourself in another mindset, start thinking into results, thinking differently, because nothing changes if nothing changes, and you deserve it. And I believe in you. So till next time, you know where to find me, and you have a great, great one. Thanks for spending some time with me today. And if you like what you heard, feel free to share, like, subscribe, follow, do whatever it is you do. I'd love to get this out to as many people as possible because it truly all does start with awareness. Once you know, you cannot unknow, and it changes everything. And of course, if I can help in any way, I'm here and happy to do so. Until next time, make it a good one.